Over the past decade, being in acting classes, reading for fellow actors, and now doing acting coaching sessions, I've seen well over 200 auditions. And I started to notice a little pattern. It wasn't about bad acting, it was about good, talented actors just making the same avoidable mistakes I had to learn firsthand, so I wanted to let other actors know them too. But here's the secret. All 5 of these mistakes are just symptoms of one single, deeper problem. And I'm not going to tell you what that is until the very end, so stick around because solving that one core issue will help with everything else. And while you're here, if you're an actor who's serious about that craft, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. It's totally free and it's the best way to make sure you keep progressing. Okay, let's get into it. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make as an actor stems from the human, natural feeling of not wanting to be perceived as other. But before we jump into that as mistake number 2, we have to talk about mistake number 1, overacting. It is first and foremost one of the biggest mistakes. It is forced emotion. I see it all the time with anger. An actor thinks this scene needs to be intense because we're in a fight, so they'll go from 0 to 100 just yelling out the wazoo. Coming from out of nowhere, you're like, ugh. It's loud, but it's not believable. And it's not believable because it's not earned. So then what's the solution? You have to ask yourself, how can I get there? Emphasis on the how. Maybe it's physical. You need to do a few jumping jacks to get the blood moving in your body. Or maybe you just need to make sure you do this scene 2 or 3 times in a row because it will naturally start to build up the energy every time you do a take. That's called shooting in a series. Basically, instead of forcing the end result of you want to start being angry, you have to focus on the process of how you're gonna get there. And that's usually a symptom of people not knowing their lines correctly, but we're gonna get to that in a second. Because in our second mistake, it comes from the exact same place, fear. Mistake number 2 is giving a flat delivery. Basically, you're making a boring choice because you just wanna be right. You're afraid that if you do something unique or different, that casting will view it as wrong. You're afraid of being seen as other. But that's what being an artist is. So how do you unlock yourself from a flat delivery? If your first response to say make a bigger choice, I'm gonna push back on that. Hot take. Here's the reframe. What if instead of making a bigger choice, which is just one route to go, we ask ourselves, how can I make this more interesting for the audience? Forget your feelings for a second. It's not about you. We're working in a visual medium, so what if we focus on what we actually see? Is it more interesting if I lean in very slowly? Is it more interesting if I turn away? You have to be willing to make the interesting choice that separates you from everyone else and makes you different. It's basically like working with subtext, but with your body and painting a picture through it. But before I get ahead of myself with subtext, that's coming up. First, we gotta talk about actual lines. I'm curious what you think I'm gonna say mistake number 3 is regarding lines. Pause this video for a second. Comment down below what you think my mistake surrounding knowing your lines is. Okay, mistake number 3 is the most obvious one to spot. It is the actor who clearly only knows their lines. And even worse, if you don't know your lines at all, like, come on. But if you see an actor and they are only regurgitating lines and not having any thought behind their eyes in any way, then you might as well just memorize a periodic table. There's just no life behind the performance because they haven't done the work to cultivate a life for the character. So what's the bare minimum prep you should do? And that's right, I said bare minimum, do more. But at the very least, do this. Number 1, know your lines. Number 2, know what your character wants in that scene. What are they fighting for that they're just amped up to, like, ooh, I want that. And number 3, know your basic function to the story as a whole. Are you the lead? Are you the quirky little pop-in character that's just there for fun? Acting is not all about you, so take a more collaborative approach and know how you fit in the whole of the production. Serve your function. The next one I could put on this list could be your technical setup, but that's so big I made it its own mistake. But we're gonna get to that in a second. This next one is a biggie. It's the actor who ignores the subtext. I once was in an audition room and this actor was auditioning for this role that is the love interest, but he has a dark side to him. Actually, in the writing has a full-on dark secret he's trying to hide, but like, I digress. This actor just played everything as nice. Boring. He missed the entire performance because it's not just, oh, I'm a sweetheart. He is missing the conflict of what's happening with his character internally. The real scene was not all of the lines everyone was saying. It was the fact that this character is hiding something the entire time. He's trying to talk to someone. We as the audience want to, see that struggle. One exercise I would do surrounding subtext, I would do while you're actually memorizing. It's super easy, but it actually lets you memorize in a way that's holding on to the scene framework and the character's true intentions. Ask yourself one simple question after every line. That question is, do I really mean this? You just say your line, pause, and then say, do I really mean this? You will be amazed at the discoveries you will make by asking yourself just one simple question. And finally, we're at mistake number 5 before my grand answer reveal. And mistake number 5 has absolutely nothing to do with acting. It's the technical stuff. And I don't mean fancy equipment. I mean, literally, if I cannot see your face, I don't see the point of watching. I want to see your beautiful, gorgeous face act. It's that simple. It's about being resourceful. I actually made an entire video about how to have a self-tape set up at different price points so that you can hear where you're at. I'll link that for you to check out. Okay, so we've covered the 5 big mistakes: forced emotion, flat delivery, no prep, no subtext, and bad tech setup. But like I said at the beginning, these are all just symptoms of one bigger, deeper issue. Actors are always told, don't do this and don't do that, and it just leads to this cookie cutter mentality. Instead, you have to find ways to allow yourself to discover. So your grand answer, the ultimate mindset shift, is this: stop trying to do what everyone says and start trying to share your uniqueness. It's not about being loud and over the top and crazy. It's about finding a choice that is unique and specific to you. It's about listening to that weird, quiet impulse that you have and actually allowing it to happen. It takes a lot of courage to be different, but that is what casting has never seen before, and that is what makes you a true artist. So stop trying to be right, stop trying to show off, and start focusing on sharing your unique instincts. That's the secret. If you found this helpful, you know what to do. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell, and I have a very special announcement. I have 2 brand new acting communities that are being created, and there's currently a live waitlist out there. Feel free to click the waitlist link down below to get more specifics on what those groups are like. One is more like a support group, the other one's more like an online acting class. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and check out this one. I'll see you next week. Bye. Mwah!